What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the Buy the Hood podcast / webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy. And before we get started, I want to say thank you to all of our supporters. We want to start every show by just giving thanks because you're helping this platform grow, and that's on every site. Make sure to continue to share this because again, we're spreading the stories of brothers and sisters who are doing amazing work in the community and business, community activists, whatever it is they're doing. We want to make sure that we share their stories. And if you have someone that you think we should bring on the platform, please let us know. We did get some recommendations, and I'm reaching out to those people. But always want to start with thanks. And as usual, I have my partner with me, Corey. Corey's in the building. What's up, Corey?
What's going on, Jim? How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I can't complain, man. Ain't nobody listening, but it's all good though. Listen, everybody out there watching this, please make sure you share this. Hit the like button. Leave us some feedback. Give us a rating on iTunes. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube because we really don't, focus on YouTube so much, but we want to try to grow that channel as well. If you listen on iTunes, which is where most of our listeners are looking at the analytics, make sure you leave us a rating, 5 stars, please. Other than that, man, we want to introduce today's guest. This is a young brother who is doing amazing work in Philadelphia, ultimate hustler. And I was having a conversation with him. He came to one of our community events, and he was telling me his story. And I said, man, we got to get you on the pod to share your story because there's some other people that probably will resonate with your story. So without further ado, man, I want to bring Kareem Hallman on of SBV Enterprises. I say enterprises because my man is out here doing real estate, flipping cars, and anything, man. But he's turned his life around, man. I want to make sure I highlight this young brother. So, Kareem, how are you, sir?
Hey, what's going on, Jim? I'm wonderful. I can't complain.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, man. Listen, I love your story. From what you told me, I want to bring you on and let you get into detail about your story. But as we start, what part of Philadelphia are you from?
So I'm from North Philly. It's a small neighborhood. They call it the Badlands, 8th and Cambria.
Okay, 8th and Cambria. So you told me that you were on your way down the wrong path before you discovered that you could use that same skill set in business. Tell us a little bit about that story. Where'd you go to school and how'd you get everything turned around?
Okay, so I went to 3 high schools. I started out in Catholic school, Newman Goretti, down South Philly. I ended up getting, I had to leave for behavioral problems. Then I went to Simon Gratz when it was mastery. I ended up leaving there for the same reasons. And then I went to my neighborhood high school, Edison. And, I graduated from there. So,
okay. So, I mean, you told me the story about, you was in the streets doing whatever you were doing. What happened or what gave you the idea that, I could take this same skill set and make something legitimate, and do some legitimate things in my life? What was it, a moment that happened? Was it someone give you the game, or how'd that transition for you happen?
So basically I always had a job. So I jumped off the porch when I was 15. But when I jumped off the porch, my cousin, I got a big cousin, his name Dom. So he was like, yo, go get a job, right? So I wasn't against it. Some people against, they think making legal money not cool. Like, you only can make money in the streets. So he was like, yo, go ahead and get this job. My first job was at Liz. So I couldn't stay there long because you got it there at an embroidery machine. So that's where you do the stitching on the hats. So like for your head, for example, they use the embroidery machine, but you gotta be 18 or older. So they had to let me go because I couldn't use a machine. But so basically I had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So I just was like, when I had my first job, I was there for like 3 months. All my checks I put in a shoebox. Like I never used them. When I went to go cash them, I had to go get new checks because they expired at a certain time. So I had to go get new checks to go ahead and cash the money, So it just was like I just never needed that money.
Yeah. But how'd you get it? So what put you on to? Because I know before you started wholesaling real estate, did you start with the cars first, or was it real estate first?
I started with the cars first. So my man from high school, right? Well, before me and him wound up linking up, I was always, once I got my license, I was just hopping in and out of cars every 2 months, hopping in and out of cars. So every time people would see me, they would just see me in a new car. So it was one time where PPA, I had cars from on 8th and Cambria from the corner of my block to like maybe I want to say like a quarter of the block. The neighbors was mad at me. They was heated, so they called PPA on me. They got all my cars taken, and I was kind of sick about that. So I wound up linking up with my man. I tell him, I said, "Yo, I need to get back." So then he brought me to the auction, and it was on from there. So
okay. So now when you start to sell these cars, right? I
right.
guess it clicks in your head like, yo, I can make bread doing this just the same as other things that'll get me in trouble. How did you scale that up and say, okay, now from the cars, I want to get into the real estate game? How'd that happen for you?
So my great grandfather, he bought a lot of houses in the neighborhood. So like still to this day on my block, we own 3 houses on 8th Street. He sold a few as well. So it was just like seeing him, I'm just like, yo, like I want to do that. So he kind of set that standard or that bar for me.
Okay, all right, that's what's up.
Nice.
So basically, you saw it, and I follow you on IG. I watch everything you do, and you be out here hustling, man. The cars is crazy. The amount of cars you move is crazy. But I also see you moving the cribs. Who schooled you to the wholesaling game? And what made you go straight to wholesaling? If your grandfather owned property, how'd you get the idea to wholesale as opposed to just trying to stack and do buy and hold? What gave the idea to wholesale?
Okay, so my cousin Dom, again, he brought me to, it's a group. It's called BTS, Better Than Success Real Estate League. So
yeah, I'm familiar with that. That's Nicole's group, right?
Yes, that's Nicole group.
Okay.
So he brought me there, right? And they mentioned wholesaling. So I'm there, I'm listening. They're like, wholesaling. So I'm like, what's that? So then they tell you how you can make money without putting your own money up. So I'm like, oh, all right, bet, that's sweet. I can do that. And then, not too shortly after that, I hit my first wholesale check. And then just like a couple weeks ago, I had another one. So
let me ask you a question. What is it like when you make that transition from the street to now you're doing amazing things with the cars and the homes and everything? What is it like when you see how much money you can make wholesaling? Like when it clicks, what is that feeling like? You're like, yo, I could have been doing this for a long time. Like how was that feeling right there?
Yeah, it's just a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling, especially with my partner. I just met my partner recently. So like we made more money than homies, I knew all my life. So I'm like, that feeling right there is just crazy to me. Like, yo, like we running the bag up and we just met each other. So I definitely
Listen, man, that's how it is, man. Sometimes you can't bring everybody with you, man. There's people that you're gonna try to bring with you because they're family, friends, you love them, whatever that may be. But you can't. Sometimes people just ain't ready. So, but you'll meet people along the way that you might start, like you said, run the bag up with. So that's a dope story, man. Like so, and I also see that you do a lot of community work. Like I said, going on your page, and I see that one of the things that's impressive is you giving back to the people in the streets, and I saw that. When school starts, you like pay for a bunch of haircuts for the neighborhood kids and all that. How'd you get inspired to do community work?
It just felt right. I know, and I know when you give away, you get back 10 times. So I'm just like, come on. And especially nobody did it for us. So I'm like, it's only right. So like, for my birthday, I do it on my birthday as well. So this year I'm turning 24 in May. We'll be doing 20 haircuts. First come, first serve, 20 haircuts. I'm paying for it. My barber, and he's participating as well. So it's a team thing.
So when your birthday, you actually go and give. That's pretty dope. That's dope. Yeah, that's dope. So salute to you for that too, man. Because like a lot of young brothers your age aren't even thinking about that, and you are right.
You're 1,000% right, man.
Yeah, when you put out there, it'll come back to you, man. Karma is real. Let me ask you a question though. So, you're making this transition. You're doing great things right now. You're making a lot of money, but along this journey you've had, what do you think is like, the biggest hurdle that you've had to get over to make this transition? What is something like, that may have been in your way, or something that the people watching this can take that maybe they're going through it too, but, how'd you get over whatever hurdle it was?
I just never gave up. I took a lot of losses. I never gave up. I never folded. I was consistent because I know consistency, no matter what, if you consistent, you gonna get there. Like if you think it and you consistent, you gonna get there. So I took a lot of losses with just trying things out, trying new things. Even with new jobs, I remember people used to be like, yo, you can never keep a job. But I'm like, yo, listen, like they hiring me. So, you gotta figure out what you want to do as well. So I had to go through that too, like not knowing exactly what I want to do and just trying so many things out at once.
Yeah, that's key. So not
Yeah, that's
having
hot.
fear, not having fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So along this journey, also another question I have is there any sort of like book, song, or person, or a word of encouragement that someone shared with you that you want to share with other people that helped you get to where you are?
My man Jason, he tell me this all the time, right? It's just good with business and life in general, right? So he tell me like he dropped a lot of jewels on me. He older than me. He my partner that I do real estate with, the
Okay.
wholesale. So he dropped this jewel on me and it stick on me all the time. He always tell me like never be the crackhead in a situation. So when he say that, he mean like, all right, say you in a barbershop, right? Crackhead might come in, they got something to sell, right? They want to sell that product. So, for example, it could be worth $50, but you might be able to go ahead and give them $5 for it, right? Because they're just, they got that, they need to get that fixed. So basically, whoever is on the opposite side, who doesn't, who's not prepped for the situation, they're the winners. So I just treat life like that. Like I always just want to be in charge of the situation. So like that's
never operate from a place of like
Desperation.
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 I heard Master P say that one time. Like never negotiate like from a point of desperation. You know what I mean? Like that's a gem right there. Core, you had any questions, Core?
I do. You talk about your cousin, your great grandpa, and your partner. I see you got a lot of older role models in your life. What kind of people would you suggest that uh, how did their mentorship put you in the places that you in right now?
Um, they had a lot to do with it. They had a lot to do with it. It basically was them taking me under the wing, I would say. But I also got the drive and I got the ambition. So people already see that. So it kind of attract them to me more. So cause I got that, like I could meet somebody, right? And they could be like, "Yo, he different." So and I'm not coming to play. I'm not playing around at all. So
No, it's energy. It's energy, and that's a good point. Because once me and you start talking, I was like, man, I like your story. As soon as we start talking, like I was like, all right, so he different. He's a hustler, because you know what I mean. And then I went on this page. I'm like, oh, he really out here like trying to get to a bag. So
Grinding like the clips out here.
right.
But it's also what you said before too. Like by you giving back the way you do in the community, that's dope too, because all that's going to come back to you. All that's going to come back to you, because man, I saw you give away book bags, haircuts. I was like, okay, so he ain't out here just like pillaging the people. He's actually giving back.
Right. For Thanksgiving, we did the Sean White Foundation. That's where my man, we all gave back turkeys and stuff. So Thanksgiving. So yeah.
Oh, and the second question I have is when what as far as thinking long term, what are you thinking about as far as putting some of that up so you don't gotta hustle that hard when you get our age?
I definitely want to get rental incomes. So I want to get some apartment complexes. That way I could just chill, fall back. And I also want to do the thing with the cars and rent them out. So hopefully I can make that into a big thing, because it is a big thing now, but hopefully later on.
Okay, so your future plans are to buy some apartment buildings. But
Right.
explain. You said the rental cars. Are you trying to rent cars? You said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can rent them out.
yeah. So like on apps like Get Around and stuff, you could get
Okay, okay.
rent them out. So that's
That's
passive too. I
interesting.
don't have to do nothing.
I never even thought about that. Like if you acquire a bunch of cars, because every time I see the app or whatever, they advertise for like people that have their own car and that don't use it all the time. But I never
Right.
thought about just buying a bunch of cars and just have them out on the street making money for you.
Yeah. You could do
Oh,
average $40 a day. I did the math. So average $40 a day. You get 10 cars. That's $400 in one day. So it's like an Airbnb for cars, basically.
damn! I never
Yo,
even thought about that.
you
It
a
just opened my
whole
mind. I'm like,
you
hold
a
up.
whole gangster with it. Like when you talk about it, it's real, right? Like technology changed the whole
Yeah,
setup.
but you know what? I just never thought about it because when you go onto the app, that's not how they market it. You know what I'm saying? They market it like, Corey, you got a car, you're gonna be at work, so while you're at work, just run it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't market it like, But again, you're enterprising, so you're thinking about the hustle. Ultimate
It,
hustlers. I like that.
the passive income. Like I said, so he don't gotta. He is hustling without having his money moving. His mind is moving, but his body ain't gotta be there all the time. That's dope.
Absolutely. Put 10 cars on the street, get $400 a day. You know what I'm saying? On a bad day, you get 200.
Right. On the
You like
bed. But, you
That's
know,
crazy. That's crazy. Oh man, you got the brain moving, man. Oh, dope. So that's your future plan, man. Apartment buildings and getting a little rental joint. That's dope, man. That's dope.
the,
So listen, man. Anything you want to leave the people with, man? Like I said, we're gonna take up a lot of your time. Just want to make sure we get this story told because I think it's very important, man. They put a lot of young people on our platform. Because a lot of y'all, everybody out there, and that's another thing, right? So we're in Philadelphia, and this is perception in Philadelphia that everybody out there young is just out here, being savages or at this point demons. But
right.
no, a lot of y'all are hustlers doing amazing things. So it's important that your story is shared and told. So before we get you out of here, though, anything you want to like leave with the people that that you got
Um,
going on?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at SBV_So And of course, go grab this book on your face,
Yo,
on your
appreciate
comment page.
that. Appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna put your link in the description of this show, so people can reach out to you. Yo, and also if you're in the Philadelphia area, you need a little whip or something. He
Right.
get to the cars, man. Get to the cars, right?
With me.
So man, listen, I just want to say, man, continued success. If you need anything from us, you got, what I mean, you know how to reach out to us, man. We want to follow your journey as you do amazing things, man, and make sure that we continue to, push forward what you're doing because it's important, man. Corey, you
Yes,
got
sir.
any last words before we get out of here, bro?
I'm just proud of him, man. Like we, in the last few weeks we had on a couple young brothers that's out here just breaking the bank and doing the right thing with it too. Like, and they not out here, making a mess of the world. You know what I mean? So that's encouraging, man. You know what I mean? Like I feel like our generation did the younger generation dirty in so many ways, but then when you see these two young brothers, it just give us a lot of hope. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. And I got one more question for you, right? So as you start to make moves and things are working for you, I'm pretty sure you reach back out to some of your homies that, may not be doing the right things. What kind of response do you get? Like are they willing to listen to you or they be like, man, go ahead with that or what kind of response do you get?
I get I guess it depends on the day. But people call me all the time. They call me all the time and say, "Yo, Reem, I want to sell cars. I want to do the crib stuff." So they tell me all the time, but people just talk. So
Yeah.
it's like, because if they really out here and they really want to do it, then we could get together and do it. So it's just like
Okay.
you can't talk to me. You gotta really put
you
that
you
action.
got you got to be ready to run.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good to know, man. Because like it's about adding value. So if somebody wants you to you for you to become their mentor, they gotta like add value to what you're doing. So and that's the way that works.
Right.
It has to be reciprocated, man. But man, continue success, man. And for those watching, man, go to our link in the show notes or our bio, or you can get the Buy the Hood merch because that's out there. Also, for anyone looking to learn the options game, Buy the Hood has partnered with Discover Your Options. We have a options boot camp that teaches people how to make money in the options market. Doesn't matter whether the market's going up or down. Recently the market's been going down because of everything going on in the world, and we over here printing money, but
Yeah.
and that's not
I'm
investment advice. It's just to say, it's just to
cash out.
say, it's just to say that people make money no matter which way the market is going, and we have a boot camp course called Discover Your Options, and you can find that in the show notes, in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as a link in our bio if you go to our IG or Twitter page, or shoot us an inbox if you want more information about that. But Kareem, I just want to say again, thank you, man. Much success to you, man.
Thank you.
Stay in touch with us. We'll stay. Anything you need, man, reach out to us, and if we can make it happen, we will, man. But Core, any parting words?
Yeah, man. You gotta when you in the community, you gotta shoot us an inbox or a text so we can get out there with you. Cause you caught us in the streets. We definitely gonna catch you in the streets.
Right.
Yeah,
sure.
and we're gonna put something together. Probably bring you out to have you speak to some people too, man. Like
I'm ready.
Yo, okay, no doubt. All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. And we go speak to because sometimes when we speak behind the wall, some of these young brothers, man, and your story is inspiring, man. So no doubt, I'm definitely gonna reach out to you, man. So for the people listening, make sure you share this episode. Continue to really support what we do because we appreciate it. And as we always say, it's not about how much money you make; it's about how much you keep. Game elevates, and we'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.